Hey guys, welcome back to OverTakes. This is Kel.
And this is Misfit.
And we are here with another episode, just kind of going over the other things that we didn't talk about in the last one. The last one we went over most of the player moves and all of that.
And the rumors.
And the rumors and all of that. And we got some of those rumors confirmed.
Right when we were recording, like we said was going to happen.
And like we recorded these back to back, like within the span of like an hour, we've recorded both of these episodes. So and a lot of these rumors were confirmed. So let's just jump into those ones that have happened
Space
right away.
Confirmed
so Space to the Gladiators, official. And then also official, the Valiant have released Agilities, Kareev, and Space, obviously.
Yeah. And
so,
look for... by the time we're done with this episode, probably we're going to have Kareev and Agilities on the Defiant.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a debate.
Yeah.
And then there's other stuff. Carpe re-signed with Fusion.
For 3 years.
Yep. He's kind of like a mainstay with that team. I think he really likes the organization. And
that also makes sense
a good
to why they re-signed Sato, because we know that Carpe really likes Sato.
Yeah.
So that's probably why Sato's still there. Whether or not he's going to actually be their main tank remains to be seen.
But he's going to be there.
But he'll be there.
Right.
So
much like Arkin and Yanis in New York, they're buds.
Right.
And now they're both on the unemployment line together.
Yeah, right. I don't think, for Ark especially, I don't think that's going to be
I don't think that's going to, unless he does you have to sign Yanis too.
Right.
That's way too high of a price.
Yeah. Like, we like you, but...
We'll give you an extra $60,000 if you keep him at home.
Yeah.
He can live in your apartment. I don't give a shit.
We'll give you the salary that you can give to him.
Yeah.
But we're not paying for it.
Yeah. So those are the couple that have been confirmed. There was some other stuff floating around. Juice Boy showed up on Twitter.
Yeah. He's not posted a video in like a year at this point, but...
he got a lot of flack in him. I think he got subtly told to stop or something.
I think that and then his Fortnite thing blew up, but I think he got too carried away on that too, and I think it's kind of falling apart there. Yeah,
sometimes you get too carried away, you get in trouble. Speaking of other things, so those are the things that have been confirmed. We're going to dive into some news that's happened, obviously, since we've been away, and let's start off with
Riot.
Yeah, let's talk about Riot for
Blizzard.
A minute. Yeah.
And the crazy moves that they are making right now.
So, I mean, a lot of you guys know, you're gamers, 10-year anniversary of League of Legends.
Yeah.
Going on. So, we have that. We have the Worlds going on right now in League of Legends. And Riot posted, and they've also, have been doing other things.
Hang on 1 second. Before we move on to that, there are some other breaking news.
Breaking news?
So, the Eternal have released Finzi, Danye, Cloudy, and Shadowburn.
Okay.
And then the Fusion have also released, officially released Elk and Kib, whatever.
And then Sparkle got signed by the Eternal.
Yes.
So, that was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Sparkle to the Eternal, I was not expecting that.
So NYXL just posted a Doomfist Libero guide, but I keep seeing Libero and NYXL, and with all the other things, it's really throwing me off that, like, they're saying goodbye to Libero, or they did something with him, like, why are you doing that? But they didn't. But it's really throwing me off every time I check Twitter right now. But no, Sparkle...
We literally checked Twitter before we started the second part of what we were doing today. We were doing a couple recordings. So, on the in-between, we had all this stuff happen, and now stuff is just rattling off left and right. We're not talking as much about player movement in this one. It's just some other things that have gone on. But we're talking about player movement because it's literally happening as we speak.
Yeah, Sparkle to Paris. And Fate to the Shanghai Dragons is also a...
Yes. So Fate is no longer with Florida, so they're trying to catch up to the Uprising with the amount of players that they have on their team.
Yeah.
So that could also confirm the Gamsu to Dallas rumor. There's a lot of stuff shaking down, boys and girls and anyone else. So we got all that stuff happening. So all right, back to we'll talk about when these rosters start getting solidified. Obviously, we're enjoying. I'm enjoying the amount of movement. I think it's hilariously fun.
It really is. So moving on to the Riot stuff, we kind of started and then interrupted. But so they announced, well, obviously they have League of Legends.
We talked about
Tactics has been out for probably,
3 months?
3 or 4 months.
Very fun game. If you haven't played it, try it.
So then after that, there'd been rumors for quite a while about them creating a fighting game. And that's like, okay, interesting. Going for a fighting game, like, okay, that's probably another esport thing that they want to go for.
Yeah. And they have and if you guys don't know anything about League of Legends, they have like 145 characters.
Yeah.
So you could build a fighting game off of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I
they have
think
massive
everything
lore.
is supposed to be all in the same universe across all of these things, correct?
Yeah, it's all in their same...
Even the shooter?
Yeah, the shooter's going to involve, I think, characters. It's kind of like ground level right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't really go into too much depth on that, but it's going to use all of their lore, all of, the characters that you guys know if you play League.
Right.
All that kind of thing.
So yeah, the fighting game is going to be definitely a lot of those types of things.
Yeah.
And then they have a card game that's going to be based off all of these things as well.
Legends of Runeterra.
Runeterra, yeah. And then they have the big one.
For us, at least. I mean,
and I think for a lot of people, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And that's going to be Project Alpha, which is supposedly a spiritual successor to CS:GO.
Yeah.
Or to Counter-Strike in general.
And with a little bit of Overwatch-ish thrown in there.
It's because it's going to be squad-based.
With the economy.
Yeah, but yeah, like in the similar vein of Counter-Strike, you're going to be buying your weapons.
And you're dead. There's no respawn room.
Right. So...
From what I could gather.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. I think that'll be...
And then...
That is definitely their foray into the shooter... genre and esports in general of that...
Of that caliber. Not, I mean, obviously they're gods of the MOBA. But also in that game, like Overwatch, you're going to have ability things, but the abilities aren't going to be the main focus like in Overwatch, And I don't know if they have barriers, but the player base will get mad.
Yeah.
The player base is going to hate every meta in every game anyway. It's just the way it is. So they basically are taking shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like they
direct shots at Blizzard. You're like, okay.
Oh, and they also have an animated series that everybody wants from Blizzard that they have not done.
Yeah.
About all of their lore that they tie together really well, unlike Blizzard.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Blizzard, but like especially in Overwatch. I mean, Warcraft's a lot tighter on the lore.
Yeah.
Overwatch lore is just bits and chunks of things.
Yeah, and it's kind of piecing it together, and it's getting better, but we'll see how that goes, and I think we'll probably get a lot more solidified here in the coming weeks. But, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what Riot does with all of that.
Yeah. They're going to go 2 esports at least.
Yeah.
And you could run, they're experimenting with some stuff with Teamfight Tactics.
Yeah.
So maybe 4, because if you count in the fighting game.
You're not going to have a fighting game and not try to build some kind of esport out of that.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the easier ones to really, because all you need is, it's 1v1.
Yeah.
Like.
1v1 tournament style.
Yeah. So there's a lot you can build around with that. I mean, look at the popularity of Smash Brothers, Street Fighter.
Yeah.
There's tons. Mortal Kombat, like there's any kind of fighting game has tournaments and all that.
Yeah,
so,
and a shooter, I mean, you got...
It's almost similar to golf.
Yeah.
I would say...
Golf, tennis, kind of.
Golf, tennis, yeah, like just those 1 versus 1 or even 2 versus 2.
Yeah. I would call like Teamfight Tactics more of a golfy thing.
Yeah.
Where you have a bunch of people playing against each other in a... I mean, you go head to head, but it's kind of a leaderboard kind of thing.
And same with a card game.
Yeah, a card game too.
Because we know how popular Hearthstone is with that, with their tournaments and things like. There's definitely a lot of there is an audience for that.
Oh yeah. A good card games. I mean, if it's a good, well thought out card game. Yeah.
There's going to be people that are going to be playing that for sure.
I mean, you have all these thousands of people playing millions of people playing Hearthstone. The Magic Arena game. the video game version, and then you also have just a flat out card game version.
Right.
I mean, with that stuff. So it's not like it's a dead genre or anything like that. People are way in.
Not. For sure. Oh, especially with the...
and sometimes you don't want to play on a team.
Right.
Sometimes you just want to play by yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're good, I kind of like that. I like playing team-based games, but there are times like I like playing Teamfight Tactics because I'm playing solo.
Yeah.
And it's
all of your own mistakes are yours, and like you can't blame anybody but yourself.
Oh, you can blame RNG because
Yeah, that too. But yeah.
don't blame yourself. Blame the RNG.
Exactly. But yeah,
steadfast rule.
It'll be interesting to see what those games are. I think the shooter is the one that we're going to be the most keeping our eye on.
Oh yeah.
And really, depending on how it all shapes up, don't be shocked if that becomes a big talking point on our show.
Yeah.
In future iterations, as we become more kind of what we've been
working towards
is kind of being a like sports radio for esports.
It's kind of like the direction, and
it's kind of the direction that we want to go. And obviously, we've mostly just talked about Overwatch League, but
because it hits home with us the most.
Yeah, but as we kind of as other esports grow and other leagues grow, I think that there's definitely a possibility that we could move on towards those.
Yeah,
I think we're going to be keeping an eye on the Call of Duty one. I don't have much hope that that's going to really catch on.
I think it will.
I think it will.
If their graphic designers are any indication, I'm a little frightened right now. New York, what the fuck is that?
Oh my god, that is one of those heinous logos I've ever seen.
Yeah. Can you do it not in MS Paint?
Yeah.
Can we do that? Dallas looked hot though.
Dallas looked really cool.
Because Dallas they always fucking teams in Dallas know how to do things. I don't know. It's like there's this expectation. You're doing a team in Dallas. Don't fuck up the logo and make it look stupid.
Yeah. You gotta keep it classic and
something empirical.
Right.
We're the best. We're the biggest thing.
Exactly.
Except for the name Fuel, but
their logo is
it's good.
Fire.
Yeah, it's good. Good enough. Then when they're bad, you can just put it on a dumpster in a fucking meme, and you're done.
Exactly. And you can do the same thing with their football team. So just put a big old star right on the side of a dumpster.
Slap the star on the side of the dumpster. Unfortunately, this year that's not true with the baseball team or football team. They're not as terrible.
They're not, but they're still gonna. When
the
it
whole
matters,
league is hot. The NFL's hot garbage.
Yeah, everyone is just the Patriots bitch right now. So
unless you're dumb and you think the Patriots are not that good.
Yeah. Well, Tom Brady gets hurt. That's what he's hoping for this week.
That's all he wants in life.
He just wants us to.
The guy we work with is a Dolphins fan, and the only thing he wants in life is Tom Brady to get literally broken in half.
Yeah.
And forced to retire.
And he's hoping that Myles Garrett does it this week.
Yeah. And newsflash, Belichick's got somebody.
Yeah.
They'll still go 11-5.
Exactly.
Because the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Bills are hot garbage.
Because two of their other backups are also starting in the league and lighting the league on fire.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Garoppolo and Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, so...
Jesus Christ.
Anyway. So, all right, why we're talking about other esports. There's reasons, because like we said, me personally, I'm getting into Teamfight Tactics, and I'm keeping an eye on that. I mean,
Overwatch League is always going to be our main...
It's our main focus.
We're OverTakes, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, that's our name. It's the game that I always go back to is Overwatch.
Yeah.
I get mad at it. I still go back. Mm-hmm. I play it. I have fun. I like the lore. I like all the stuff that goes on, we're kind of built. So,
but as esports evolves and
we're evolving too.
More things are going to evolve around the world of esports. We're going to have to change with that.
For us to dive into something like League, that's a hard task because I don't play the game. I haven't. I played some when I was on vacation late at night because I had nothing. I don't sleep. Yeah. I can't play Overwatch on a shit
but
laptop.
That's a lot of history to go through, and there's
teams and metas and all that.
It's a lot to dive into,
and we know Overwatch good enough, but
right. But as some of these other leagues evolve and come in, we're probably going to be discussing those. So just a heads up as to the direction that we're going as a channel, and then as
we want to get you guys obviously involved in this too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because as much as I'm a football fan, I also watch baseball and hockey.
Right.
I pay attention to NASCAR.
Exactly. There's going to be other games that are going to come along that we're going to be paying attention to as well.
Yeah, and speaking of, it could evolve into a different form.
Yeah.
A different podcast. So watch out for that stuff.
Yeah.
So the shot has been fired by Riot.
So now Blizzard needs to counter. And next week is their big...
Next week
BlizzCon.
They better not do you guys got phones, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. They've got a lot to make up for with that. And then just kind of they had a lot of fanfare with... and like a lot of really good things going on with the release of Roll Queue. But there's still a lot of issues that are plaguing that.
Yeah.
So they need some balancing, and then they need some extra things to kind of make that work.
Right.
And that's kind of what we're hoping gets announced next week is some things. Some
things. And, there are things with the game right now. We don't have esports to focus on metas and things like that. I think this meta, everyone's like, fix it. I'm kind of in I understand what's going on right now.
Yeah.
There is a big project because they're all quiet.
Yeah.
They released Roll Queue. They gave us Sigma. They fixed some stuff, but
ever since then, it's been basically silence.
Yeah. They let the league kind of finish out, and here we are.
Yeah.
So the league is kind of fueling the buzz a little bit, and then last week these guys started dropping hints as to things that are going to happen.
Yeah.
Stuff that we want, stuff that you guys want.
We had like the big break back in May or June about Overwatch 2 or whatever sequel or whatever
something
major
going on. There's a major thing
Overwatch being leaked about there being a strong PvE mode, but now there's some more strong rumors that came out that this will be basically a sequel, but there's not been any confirmation. I would call it
like Dota 2.0, kind of like the way they did that. Still the same game.
There's going to be
this is going to be a different element.
So this is going to be a different element to it. So the base, this will come with the base game of Overwatch plus a bunch of more stuff.
From what it sounds like,
So there's going to be a major PvE mode, which is, at this point, is all but confirmed.
Yeah, whether it's a new map type.
Yeah.
Which is something that I think they're going to do.
Yeah, but my guess is it's going to be similar to what we've gotten of the archive events. Right. It's going to be just a major expansion on that.
Oh, I'm going PvP in my brain. I'm sorry. I'm
as far as PvE, there's going to be that, and it's we had the earlier one, Left 4 Dead type. So that I'm super excited for, and I think that'll be basically what you're paying for with it. But then there's also the rumors of new PvP modes, like a whole new mode for PvP.
This is all speculation.
Yeah, it's all speculation. We don't know if it's going to be there's any number of things.
It could be like an arena area, like in a MMO.
Yeah.
Because there's talk of leveling systems. I don't think they're going to change Overwatch.
No.
I think they're going to,
I think it's going to be another element of Overwatch.
Much like, Riot is doing with their stuff. There's League of Legends, then there's Teamfight Tactics, then there's the fighting game. Overwatch is going to have Overwatch, PvE, and possibly another PvP, whether it's arena elimination-based kind of thing.
Right.
Team-based. Who knows?
Yeah. Well,
we'll find out. But there's leveling systems that people have been talking about on Heroes. So I'm assuming it's not going to be involved in the classic Overwatch. Pardon me. The classic Overwatch. Because you don't want to because if you're doing an esport for something like that, you're not going to want someone to be, because everyone has to be on the same level. Mm-hmm. Because they were saying, one of the person said that his name slips my mind. He said, for instance, when you level up Tracer, her pulse bomb, when you stick it on one person, sticks it on 5 people or 4 people or in a radius. That screams PvE or like a large PvP kind of room. Like
almost map. Like a PvP with PvE elements type thing, maybe. You guys have played,
They have PvP in Warcraft and things like that.
Right.
I'm assuming it's going to be shit like that.
Yeah.
And it also fuels the microtransaction. Mm-hmm. You know, or leveling, gear, all that kind of stuff. You know, you level up, you know, your base shield for Reinhardt is X.
Right.
You know, you loot box or you level up, you know, your shield does this, or then you can throw your shield out, or, you know, you can swing and hold your shield at the same time. However it works. You know, I mean, there's going to be things like that. I'm super excited. Very
intrigued to see how this all plays out.
Because they have a lot of things that we didn't get into with the Hearthstone situation.
So let's dive into that. So Blizzard has a lot of things to make up for right now, and they're in a complete shitstorm.
And they're in a no-win situation.
Yeah, no-win situation. Even more so because a very similar situation is happening in the NBA. But with Blizzard, it's even more of more of a shitty situation and no-win because they have teams that are directly involved in China.
Yeah.
So basically, if you've been living under a rock for the past 3 weeks or
4 weeks. Yeah, because all that was shaking down when I was on vacation, and I was finding it.
So basically, what happened is a player named Blitzchung won a tournament for Hearthstone and held up a sign that said "Free Hong Kong," and just supporting the Hong Kong protests that are going on to keep Hong Kong an independent from China.
Just an independent island nation kind of thing.
Island nation, yeah. And to keep their democracy, because China's been kind of trying to strong arm them back into that, and there's a whole lot of political things going on.
Google it.
Yeah. If you don't know what's going on, please inform yourself as to how this is going.
It's basically, in a nutshell, it started when British released control of Hong Kong that they had for a couple hundred years.
Yeah.
And it started from there. Go on the internet, find out the rest.
Yeah. So there's a lot of protests going on with that, and Blitzchung did his support of them, and Blizzard punished him immediately. They took him down. They took down the feed as fast as they could. After that happened, they fired the casters that were
supporting.
That were casting the event, and I don't know exactly what the reasoning for firing the casters. I think
they were doing something along those lines too. I didn't read too much into the caster thing. I was more focused on having a Blitzchung.
Yeah, but they rescinded his prize money, and he is no longer welcome. Or they originally gave him a lifetime ban.
Yeah.
From playing in any Hearthstone tournaments. Then to protest that, there was an American team, American university team, who protested along with him, and they got 0 punishment initially.
Yeah.
And that was kind of their point. They're just like, okay, so now you're going to not punish us the same way that you punished him. So then they gave them the same ban, but they also lightened Blitzchung's ban and put it down to either...
I think it was 6 months.
It was initially a year, then they knocked it down even more to 6 months.
And they also, I believe they gave him his prize money back.
And
Eventually.
In
the meantime, the United States government jumped in.
Yeah.
Which...
So I think it was Alexander Ocasio-Cortez, Marco Rubio, and...
We're talking from all sides of the fence here, guys.
Yeah, and there was one other guy...
but it was basically...
They're just like, hey, Blizzard, you're either an American company or, you got...
Essentially, you're an American company that falls under the jurisdiction of the Constitution, which has free speech. You can have your rules and all that.
But you can't punish these guys for having free speech.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword for Blizzard, because they have rules and stuff that says, political bullshit and you can't. But... the biggest thing is it amounts to, and everybody knows what it amounts to. China's got 4 billion people that love video games.
And
a good chunk of them.
Yeah.
Money.
Yep. And Blizzard has made a lot of money out of China. I mean, it started with World of Warcraft was one of the biggest ones that started there.
Yep.
I think that was the first game that Blizzard released in China.
StarCraft 2 is big there.
StarCraft 2 is another big one. And then Overwatch is taking it by storm.
Yeah.
And obviously, even
Hearthstone's
more so,
big too.
Hearthstone is another big one, but Overwatch has been a really major one, obviously because they have four teams in China.
Yeah.
So
it's a market that they want to invest in, and unfortunately,
by dealing with China, you're having to limit the things that you're allowed to use and the things you're allowed to do because of their strict rules for of
the way their government is structured, which is baseline communism, but more of a dictatorship.
Yeah.
Basically, government controls everything.
Yeah.
Including what you can say, what you can't say, and how much money you're allowed to take out from our country, or make from our country, by what you say and what you don't say.
Yeah.
So if you say shit, you're going to get banned. If you get banned, you don't have that wallet.
Any money. Yeah.
So they're basically, their money people are making the decisions.
Yeah. Which puts Blizzard in a really awkward situation because they are an American company.
Yeah.
Trying to sell their product there. But, so, like, I understand it from one side of, like, you're a business, you're trying to make money. I get it.
But you have to have values beyond what you call your core values. You have to have, human rights. Things have to matter.
Right. Because
speaking out against human rights and oppression.
Because that's the other side of it is because of the dictatorship and all of the craziness that China has, there are some very dark sides to it in that you got any people that live there speaking out, that's jail sentence. And jail there is not like here. It is you're working in a labor camp, you're
never seen again.
You're never seen again, and you're harvesting your organs.
Yeah, shit like that.
So
it's
some
not
pretty heinous shit that is going on in there.
Yeah, you don't get conjugal visits and 3 meals a day. Let's put it that way. Weight training and whatever else, hanging out in the yard. If you're outside, you're doing something,
right? And
or you're getting buried.
And a lot of these things they can't even be disputed. Like anybody, come at me, try and say that this isn't happening, and I'll show you 5 or 6 different things that
prove you otherwise.
And
it just goes in the meantime, Zed, who performed at the Overwatch League finals, he got banned permanently from China for liking the South Park, who literally came out before this whole thing went down and did South Park things because
it's South Park. That's what they do.
That's what they do. And and he literally liked the tweet and got banned instantly from China. Yeah. So they're watching. And you know what? If they ban me in China, I don't give a fuck. Come at me.
Right.
I don't care. I don't think we have
murdering your citizens and exploiting them.
And for me, if we're big in China, that's news to me.
Yeah, right.
If anyone's watching in China,
cool. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I guess.
Thank you, and fight the power.
Good. Fight the power, and
not jokingly, fight the power.
Yeah, May is go May.
Yeah,
because May is now official. I love that May has now become the official Chinese freedom symbol. She has become the symbol for the Korean.
Is she gonna
the Hong Kong freedom?
They're gonna spam voice lines. Ouch!
Ow! Sorry. So yeah,
it's time to start a blizzard.
Right. Oh man.
Million May March.
Yeah, the Million May March.
So
yeah,
I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but it's interesting that May is like the official spokes character kind of thing.
The resistance people have really latched onto May ever since that whole thing has started, and
then I'm not sure the Chinese government is saying, "See, they're right. She is the devil."
Yeah, right. Oh god.
But yeah, Blizzard's got a lot to work on.
Yeah.
Public relations wise, with their fan base,
huge disaster
outside of gaming.
Yeah.
Big picture, it left a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah. Same.
And it bothers me when the NBA and Apple and all these teams kowtow because you know why they're doing it. Mm-hmm. And not political ranting or anything like that. But for me, Blizzard doing that left me a little sour. Are they going to redeem themselves totally by saying, hey, yay, Overwatch, lore, all the shit you want, Misfit, here it is. Shut up. No, it's not going to shut me up on that.
No.
I'm still in the back of my mind, I'm going, I don't like you.
Yeah.
What you did.
Yeah, I don't...
You need to fix this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, every company does some evil shit. That's the thing, is like, I try to protest and be against certain corporations because of the terrible things they do. But unfortunately, the reality is you move on from one company that does something you don't like, and then you move on to another company, and they are also doing something you don't like because
it's a little bit lesser than the other. It's less egregious than the one.
They're still all of them, because like even if we were to move on to Riot is owned they have like a 90s or what is it, like
90% Chinese owned?
Tencent owns most of Riot.
You know, so Riot players are awfully quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone playing League or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So, well, you know, it is not a good thing. It is not a good face that. In the last year, Blizzard has not had a good face.
They have not.
Now, the one thing I would like them to do at BlizzCon, and they won't, because they talked about it, they're done with it, is I would love for them to come out, you know, be contrite about the situation.
Yeah.
First things first, not, you know, welcome to BlizzCon. We have some business to talk about with you guys that you're upset about, and we want to fix our relationship with you.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do. They're not going to do it.
No, they're not.
They might touch on it later.
Yeah. There might be like some kind of, after BlizzCon, they'll be like, here's our official stance on this. And it'll be quietly released. And
they kind of did that a little bit, but what they need to do is come out and say, look, we're like you. There are reasons why we did what we did.
Yeah.
Right now we know it's the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. You know, we have a relationship with China. We want to continue that relationship with China. But there are some things in a relationship that you don't like.
Yeah.
Severely don't like. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you have to make a statement. Say, you know, we're American companies. We're Americans like you. We are not happy with what's going on over there.
Yeah.
They have to make this statement.
They do, but they're not going to,
no.
Unfortunately.
Instead, they're going to say, do you have a phone? If you're in Hong Kong, don't you people have phones?
Yeah. Play our new Diablo game.
Yeah.
Which still hasn't come out, by the way.
Oh, it has the most, I think it's like in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most dislikes of any video on YouTube ever.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. But, so, BlizzCon. We hit on the Overwatch thing. They need to do something to kind of like start the train back into, because they're losing market share, they're losing all kinds of things. All these other companies are starting to creep.
Yeah. So they got to make a stance.
And I think they knew they had a big project coming.
Yeah.
Because it's been quiet for a long time. And Jeff Kaplan has said, like, back on Overwatch, away from the politics and the madness that was. But Kaplan has said numerous times, for us to do PvE, it's going to have to be a new game. Our engine was built to do PvP and this style of thing. Right. So we got to be getting something like that.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be basically like an Overwatch 2.0 where like they might even like it might even be
called Archives. Overwatch Archives.
Something like that.
The game.
Yeah. Something like that, and I could see even basically like where they overhaul their existing product, like, because they've done it with, I know they've done it with World of Warcraft, where like it's still running on the same basic engine, but like the graphics and so many things have drastically changed.
Right,
ever since then.
A graphics rework, a little bit of an engine tweak.
Yeah.
Things like that.
So I imagine we might see something along
UI
those
adjustments.
lines.
You might see some new stuff like that.
Where it's like along the lines of what they've done previously with other games, where it's like an expansion and there's new modes you can only play in that. But I think that they could do some kind of base changes to the existing game to make it easier for that, like new, basically new engine things where they can roll out updates faster. They can do fixes and balance changes and stuff like that quicker.
Simplify that process.
Yeah.
And then also what it does is you have your seasonal events. I mean, yeah, you have some in base Overwatch.
Right.
The game modes, like the ones, the competitive ones.
Yeah.
Like the capture the flag and all that kind of fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you move all of your Junkenstein and all that stuff into your Overwatch 2.0
right.
kind of thing. Where Junkenstein, which is fun.
Yeah.
But, you can expand upon
or
all these things.
Maybe
the whole world,
that stuff stays in the base game, and then you do new events, or like
different
things that are going on in during those same time frames. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. And then
I think with this, you get a guild system of some sort. Because people are going to want to play together.
Especially PvE.
Yeah, PvE.
Yeah.
You can create guilds and things like that, and then you make it a global.
And then hopefully
across the whole universe, or the whole Overwatch game.
Along with that, there is some kind of overhaul into how competitive works. Because that's one big thing that Blizzard is, up to this point, they've done a decent job. So they want to appease the casual fans. And I think a PvE thing will definitely appease them even more, as well as having modes like quick play. But then they've kind of they put so much focus into the league and that aspect of the competitive thing that the actual competitive side of the game has really lacked.
Yeah.
And there's not really been...
There's no reward.
So we've had roll queue, which is... Yeah. It's helped a little bit, but there definitely needs to be more... as far as really keeping the hardcore because super competitive people happy.
Yeah, because most of those guys,
the people that are coming to this game for a super competitive experience, it's kind of lacking.
Yeah,
and it has been lacking for quite a while. Unless you're a god tier that can make it into the league, because everyone always talks about with this game is how different it is when you have a consistent amount of people that you're playing with competitively. It's a completely different game.
Yeah, when
you're actually working together and all of that, and I think a guild system would absolutely help with that, where you could have you have 40 people in a 30 or 20 to 30 people in a guild that. You can,
however you want to structure it.
However you want to structure it, and you can consistently play with around the same amount of people, or the same people. And
skill levels are different.
Skill levels, and you can, but you can
it makes
put out
competitive better, is what it is.
Right. But then you can also have your competitive mode where you have the combined team, and you have a team SR. Yeah. And I think that's something that I fully expect there to be integrated into the game. Is a team SR where you have people that might be you might have some people that are in diamond, some people that are in platinum, some people that are in gold, but all together they all combine to be high plat.
Yeah.
And because they are bringing different skills
too, still.
With the solo, and you keep the solo queue experience around the same of what it is. Maybe tweak it here and there. I don't know exactly what they can do with that.
Well, I always have been a proponent of what they do in Heroes.
And I think the roll queue thing was a big step forward.
I made the game at least enjoyable for me to play competitive.
Yes, for
minus
solo
metas
queue.
and whatnot.
But I think to really amp up the true competitiveness of the game, you need to have a better way. And longevity is to have a better way for people to put together teams and play together like that, and have that combined SR and really integrate yourself into a team environment. And because that's really what it is all about. When you're playing with somebody consistently, you pick up on how they're going to play and how they're going to do certain things, and you get better at playing with that core group of people. And I think that's something that this game really needs, and I think would really flourish with something like that.
Yeah, I do too, because it's like when you if you're playing a sport, if you just randomly walk onto a basketball court with 4 other guys, you don't know how they play.
Exactly.
I'm a good 3-point shooter, say, but your guy who's playing point guard doesn't know who to the guys inside are more defensive. He thinks that they're going to attack the rim. They're going to be, inside, shooting inside, giving you that presence. But I'm out here on the edge, and if you pass the ball to me, I'm gonna hit shots. But he doesn't know my play style. Mm-hmm. It's like that in Overwatch. If you're playing support, you don't know your Genji's a fucking maniac,
right?
Until he dies for the 4th time,
exactly.
Or you have fucking Yeet Reinhardt.
Yeah.
As opposed to a guy who doesn't do anything, Reinhardt.
Exactly.
Or, defensive guy.
Mm-hmm.
Your diva's a fucking beast on one team, and the other one, they're playing passive.
Right.
When you have the team scenario where you're playing with these people consistently, you know how they're going to play, and it makes the gaming experience better.
Yes, absolutely.
For everybody.
I think of looking at like World of Warcraft, where something they went the opposite way. So it really started where you had to build your own community to go and raid, but you got better every week that you would raid and do that because you were playing with those people more. You knew their tendencies. You knew everyone kind of knew exactly what they needed to do because you need each person to do different things and all of that. So I think, and then they integrated a pickup group so you could just dive into a raid with anybody, any random people, and it was a vastly different experience because you're with people that, like, everyone's trying to do their own thing, but their tendencies are not...
You're not what you're used to.
Exactly. So... Or
your experience with...
And I think that...
Good, bad, or otherwise.
Hurting the game in the long run because more people were just like, well, why don't I just do that because it's easier? But at the same time, it's just like having that consistent group of people that you're doing it with, it really brings so much more to it. And I think if Blizzard can implement something like that for this game, I think it's going to do nothing but make it better.
Yeah. And if they do, look for sign-up sheets on our Discord.
Yeah, right?
I'm always looking for someone to carry me.
Same. I need some DPS that can carry.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I've gotten better at tank. I haven't
played
platinum
in a while.
yesterday, fully in tank.
I haven't played much in the last month.
But I'd also like to go back to playing support and be able to actually support people and not just be like, why are you not moving forward?
Yeah.
Or like, just like trying to keep these idiots alive because they're all over the place and they're like, why didn't I get healing? It's like, well, you were on the other side of the map from me. What do you want me to do? I'm playing Moira.
Yeah. I'm playing Moira.
I threw a ball your way and you ran away from it.
Yeah. Or, with me, it's always and Kel's played with me, it's I can't heal you if I'm dead.
Yeah.
And not from me trying to play passive. I mean, there's times when I play really passive and try not to get killed because I know what's going on.
Right.
But if you have the team element, all right, I know that these guys are going to do this and that, and it would just be fantastic.
Yeah.
It would add another element. I'm always been for a 2 separate ranked thing of solo queue and team.
Queue, yeah.
Much like they do, and I think they need to talk to the guys that did Heroes of the Storm. Mm-hmm. It's competitive. It's got its issues.
Yeah.
They always do. The role queue is a good step 1. Let's move into step 2.
Yeah.
And let's get. I want this lore shit.
Yes.
It's what fuels my gaming experience. Not as much as I love the competitive stuff, but in order for me to keep interest, which is why I don't play Modern Warfare or Call of Duty. It's just dude.
Right.
You're the dude. I like being the dude, but I like knowing the backstory of the guy I'm playing. I mean, that's why I like playing certain characters in Heroes of the Storm, or when I was playing other games, like why I would play this class in an MMO.
Exactly.
Because there's lore behind it, because there's other people involved in the whole story. I want that stuff. But all that stuff tied together needs to happen. Diablo 4 is probably going to happen. We're not going to spend much time on that.
I'm probably going to buy it.
We're going to buy it, yeah. We'll buy it and talk about it after we buy it.
Yeah. But I mean, I really haven't seen any rumors about that.
Yeah.
They've been very...
Except for the one leak in the German book of art from Diablo, had Diablo 4 mentioned in there.
That's
in
really
the ad.
all there's been.
So there's... It's much like the Nintendo Switch cover.
Yeah.
That's what that reminded me of. Like, Blizzard said nothing. It goes away. It'll come back.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be back.
It'll be back.
And I feel like with Diablo, it's going to be more of a like, hey guys, it's being made. It'll be here sometime.
And we're not going to mention phones at all.
Yeah, no phones.
No phones. It's not April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Now, if the dude comes out and says, okay, so you've been waiting for an April Fool's Day joke, what are your thoughts on Diablo 4?
Yeah. Well, their best bet is to announce Diablo 4 and then be like,
release it.
So the Diablo Immortal thing, that's coming soon.
Yeah.
Like, very quietly, like, yeah, that's coming still.
Or
it'll be out soon.
The best would be to release Diablo 4 on April Fool's Day.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. Oh man.
That would be the best retort to any fucking joke
would be.
That anyone made in that.
Or if they released Diablo 4 before the freaking phone game.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious too.
And the only way to pre-purchase Diablo 4 is on your phone.
Yes.
Just to fuck with people.
Yeah.
But all that aside, Blizzard, you got a job to do next weekend.
Yeah.
And, there's also rumors that there's no maps and no characters. But if you're talking whole new game, I don't care.
Right.
Overwatch could use a couple new characters, sure. I'll be fine with you saying, hey, there's a whole PvE game. You don't get a hero this time.
Yeah.
Maybe in March. But, or it could be a part of the release. They release 5 new heroes.
They're like, well, we're not going to announce any of the new heroes, but expect this many heroes to come out when this is released, or something like that. Like, they might not have any names of exactly what it's going to be, but be like, hey, expect there to be heroes when this is released at this time.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
And also, guys, a lot of these guys know, like, not in the podcasting Overwatch League kind of community, but some of your bigger streamers, your teams, these other guys know what's going on.
Yeah.
Which is why they're relatively quiet. Mm-hmm. If you notice, like, the streams are kind of mellow.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of yip-yapping going on in fucking streams. Because these guys are all going there. They have to be quiet. And they have videos that they've made of some of the stuff. Mm-hmm. That, because they have to, because some of them, like Stylosa, for instance, he's coming from England.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely does.
Because the speculation stuff has kind of died down a little bit.
Right.
The what we know stuff, all right,
there was just that major leak that came from the one streamer, I can't remember his
name. The guy who was talking Ash last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Ash and Bob and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And it's going to be an interesting next couple of weeks.
Yes, and I'm sure in the last half an hour that we've been talking, we've had about 15 transactions take place.
Probably.
I've looked really quick. I haven't seen anything. So, Kareev is officially with the Toronto Defiant because he's... There's never been a better time to buy homestand tickets for the Toronto Defiant.
Yeah, right. Yep. Yep. Toronto Defiant officially on their Twitter... Kareev to the Defiant.
So things are starting to fall into place.
I think that's such an excellent pickup for them.
Yes, Kareev to the Defiant is fantastic.
Yeah.
Agilities and Surefour. Agilities has not been mentioned yet. We'll talk more in depth about teams, what's going on. We're gonna let the dust settle a little bit. We wanted to get back, talk things we haven't talked about, like we said in the last episode. So. Stay tuned for more stuff, guys. Watch Twitter, watch social media. We'll be commenting on stuff on there, for sure. And thanks to everyone who's watched and listened today. We talked about a lot of non-Overwatch League stuff. Dove into some things that are going on that we wanted to talk about. Wanted to give our opinions about. Tell you guys what's going on. Things that we're paying attention to, and you guys should pay attention to too, because you're gamers, man. You can't be a one-trick gamer.
Right.
I mean, you can. But who really is?
No, yeah, who's not playing other games?
Yeah. So I mean,
hell, most of the other podcasters, when I see them on
Discord,
or on the Blizzard, on the BattleNet or whatever, they're all playing WoW Classic.
Yeah, WoW Classic, or some people are playing Teamfight Tactics, some people are playing Apex, some people are playing Fortnite. Right. But yeah, we just wanted to talk to you guys about that stuff. So if you're on YouTube, thanks a lot. Don't forget, hit the subscribe, hit the bell for updates. Also, give us a like on the video. It helps us out a lot. Anyone listening out in podcast land, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, whatever your podcatcher of choice is, thank you very much. Please feel free to give us a review. And always, always, always give us your feedback. Talk about things. We want to get the conversation rolling, like we always said. And we've stated earlier this, we want to get more into the sports radio kind of vibe, where you guys give us, we talk to you, you talk to us. We have a constant conversation going on about esports, whether it's Overwatch League, the new stuff coming up, stuff that we've been talking about. So thanks a lot. We will catch you guys on the next one. Probably look at early next week. And then, something before BlizzCon. Obviously, more speculation stuff will have dropped by then. More people have gotten signed. Probably in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Definitely before I get this edited. You guys have a good rest of your day, and we will talk to you later.
Catch you guys on the next one. Later.